Everything's falling apart. Why does everything happen at once? Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So first off, my shoe fell apart. Now, I knew I was getting to the end of my current pair of shoes, or then pair of shoes, life cycle. When I was packing up for Massachusetts, last month, I noticed a hole forming in the mesh on the shoe, which sounds a little bit oxymoronish because mesh is holes, but I digress. I had put it on my list of things to do last weekend to go, shoe shopping, but, I was like, that's probably when I need to start. But I hate shoe shopping. I didn't do it because I hate shoe shopping. It was mostly because I had forgotten after I was running my errands on Saturday that it was on my list. It happens. Monday morning, when I went to tie my shoes, the sheath around the core of the lace came apart and just, was like, I'm done. Over it. Whatevs. Which meant my shoelace was literally being held together by a thread. I managed to get my shoe tied. It wasn't exactly a comfortable tie because literal thread. But I bumped shoe shopping to be a more immediate situation. I managed to get through the workday somehow, but I knew that trying to push it to Tuesday probably wouldn't have made it. Sure, I know what you're thinking. Russ, why don't you just go buy new shoelaces? Have you ever tried to color match something? I mean, we're quilters here. We know how color matching works. The shoes that I had were gray, and they had a specific gray lace. And if I took brand new laces and put them on, I think they're 5-year-old shoes. So I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain they were 5. But, if it would stick out like a sore thumb. And if I'm going to be hunting for something, I might as well just hunt for the end result. It's easier to go and get it over with than, try to put a Band-Aid. I hate shoe shopping. Another reason is when you look at shoes, and I don't know how it is for women's shoes, but men's shoes are designed for like in size 8 to 9. That's usually the sweet spot when it comes to how a shoe normally looks. I think that's a majority of the population. Maybe it's 9 to 10. Either way, there's that sweet spot with shoe designs. My clodhoppers are a size 13, which makes it harder to find something that looks good on my feet. I mean, yeah, if you've seen some of these shoes, it's ridiculous. And then, imagine them on people that have bigger feet than me. In my adventures, I decided to go to the East Cobb DSW because East Cobb tends to be a trendy part of town. It's, not far from where I live. And, if they're trendy, surely they have to have a great selection of shoes. Most of the stuff there was extra wide. I did say that I wear a size 13 shoe. I may be chonky on myself, but I have skinny feet. I mean, they are narrow when it comes to feet, which made finding something very, very difficult. There were there were styles that I liked and stuff, and Like, I looked at them and I'm like, they probably would scale up pretty good. But because they were extra wide, my feet were practically swimming in them. And you can only tighten laces up so much if they're extra wide on a skinny foot. And you don't want your feet to be swimming in shoes either, because that's an easy way to get blisters. And I like my feet. So after what felt like 8 hours of searching through that store, it was probably close to like 45 minutes to an hour, but still, I finally found a pair of shoes that doesn't look horrible, is in my size, and wasn't extra wide. So, yeah, I bought them. I went to the register and I'm like, I hate being in here. Hopefully I don't have to come back in here for another 5 years because it's miserable. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't, if is extra wide shoes just a feature of DSW, or is it just the store that I was in? I don't know. If somebody could help me, that would be awesome. I really don't know where to buy shoes. Again, because there's such a wide variety. I was like, DSW's got to be a decent place for me to find something. And I was just upset that everything was extra wide. I did find a pair of flip-flops. Flip-flops aren't horrible for me to search for because there's such a small selection of things that I even think about liking. And if I don't find anything I like, I don't feel disappointed because I still have flip-flops at home. But when I have to buy shoes, especially when I have to buy shoes because I need to go to work, I don't understand why I can't wear flip-flops to work. I mean, my toes are like pedicured and everything. They got gorgeous polish on them. I want to be showing them off, but I can't because it's not professional. But I've seen like women wearing more questionable decisions than that, and they can get away with it. Why? Anyway, back off my tangents, frustration and stuff. Got home and everything. I was exhausted from the day of shoe shopping. In fact, I was so exhausted. I was exhausted in my dreams that night. I just remember, there was something going on in my dream, and I'm just sitting there over in the corner trying to fall asleep. Or at first I was trying not to fall asleep, then something happened and I was trying to fall asleep because I was exhausted. Although I probably shouldn't have tried to fall asleep because of what was... Never mind, we're not going to go there. So yeah, shoe shopping, I hate it. To make things worse, as if, shoe shopping couldn't make it worse, my bed is busted. Yeah. A little bit of context for y'all. I woke up Saturday morning and my Sleep Number bed felt a little softer than I normally expect in the mornings. That happens sometimes because, when it gets cold, it gets a little bit, softer and stuff, and I just usually deal with it. I did my standard put it back to 100 before I went in the shower and everything. And then Saturday afternoon, after I ran my errands, where I forgot to buy the shoes, I noticed my bed wasn't at the 100 firmness anymore. I reset it back to 100, and after a few minutes, I had noticed that, it felt softer. So I was like, okay, something's not right. And I start researching. For those of you who don't know about Sleep Number, this is just, how they work. A Sleep Number bed is a glorified air mattress with memory foam around it. That's how they are able to get you your desired comfort level. You get firmer or softer by inflating or deflating the air chamber. And the foam around it is what helps it not feel like an air mattress. If you're going shopping for a Sleep Number, which I did 6 years ago, basically you are introduced to, one of their really nice ones. and you take your little like test and everything to figure out what your potential sleep number is. And then they tell you, okay, try the various models. Use the number that we have just determined, see how comfortable it is, go up and down a little bit. But the important thing is figure out what feels comfortable. And that's the important part, because the layer of foam is what helps it not feel like an air mattress. For some people, you just need a really thin layer of foam and you can't tell that you're on an air mattress. For other people, you need thicker layers, and basically the goal is you have to buy, or if your intent is to buy a Sleep Number, you need to buy the one that is just thick enough that you don't feel that it's an air mattress. And for me, I was going through left and right, and I was like, well, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. And then I found the one where I was like, okay, I don't feel it anymore. And I think there was like one step higher that was on sale. And I tested that one and I couldn't feel it. So I was like, okay, that's the one that I want because it's on sale. It was cheaper than this one over here. But yeah, it just keeps you from having to spend extra money where you don't necessarily need it. Because, you know, Princess and the Pea, if you can tell that it's a air mattress at, you know, the 6, and you cannot tell that it's an air mattress at the 8, there's no need in going and buying the 10 or 12, because 8's really what you need. So that is my Sleep Number how to buy thing. But yeah, so because there is an air chamber in there, an air mattress in there, there is always risk of a problem, and I was experiencing it, or am experiencing it. Thankfully, Sleep Number on their website has a great set of troubleshooting steps, because, you know, you don't want to have to schedule a service tech call, which I don't know how much that would even cost, to have them come out and just basically be like, okay, yeah, it's your mattress, and then we have to order a mattress, or it's your chamber and we have to order a chamber. Because it could be one of three things. It could be the air pump, be the thing that gets you the air in and out of the air chamber. It could be the hose somehow sprung a leak, or it could be the air chamber. Air chamber is the most common thing. And I did their testing of things and basically was like, my guess is it's the air chamber, but I can't 100% certain because I couldn't find the plugs that they were saying that you need to test with. I did learn a lot about how my bed is put together and how things kind of work with my bed as I took it apart, to find some of these things that I didn't need to fully take it apart, but that's besides the point. It's actually pretty cool how it's all put together, which I halfway remember from when they did the install, but it was also a long, rough day of the install, and I don't want to think about what happened after that day. Don't talk about it. It was bad. So Sunday, I went to the Sleep Number store. I walked in, and the first thing that she goes is, you know, how are you? And I was like, well, I'm tired and it's all your fault. No, it's not your fault. And I explained the whole situation. And then she interrupted me and said, why is that not Snoopy on your shirt? And I was like, because it's a capybara. You'll see the shirt and scenes from the week and understand. But we continued to talk, and she's like, yeah, you need to call customer service. We can't do anything for you here, unfortunately. And customer service line for me to talk to somebody that I need to, they're only available from, like, she said 11 to 5. And then my further research suggests it's like 9:30 to 5:30. And I'm not going to call somebody at 5 for support if they shut down at 5:30, because I don't know if it's going to take them 5 minutes to get me solved or if it's going to take them an hour to get me solved. I don't know how this whole process works. So I'm like, I'm not going to call when I get out of work, because I have to be near my bed for some reason when I call. So Basically, I said, I will call Wednesday, which is after I'm recording this, but before I publish it, and work with them to figure out exactly what I need to do. My guess is I've done enough. They can confirm that it's the air chamber, and they're going to charge me some amount. I think I calculated it's about 40% of the price that I have to pay for a replacement. So we'll see what I have to do. I can update you guys next week with that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because I'm basically sleeping sideways in the thing because I like my side of the bed. I guess it might explain why I've been trying to halfway migrate to the other side of the bed. But it's just been frustrating, and I know it's going to take a few days once I call later to say, hey, this is the replacement. It's going to take me a few days to get it in stock, or not in stock, but shipped to me. I'm comfortable doing the replacement. And so that's not a big deal. And the reason why I'm comfortable is because I practically took my bed apart already, just trying to figure things out. So it's a really cool thing. I might take pictures if I have to take it apart, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, so we'll see how much it costs, and shoes and sleep number, and then the announcement at work that happened about some impending restructuring. Everything around me is falling apart. But what's been going on in here, which is the important part, it's the part that everybody loves more about. Let's see. I did do some stuff. Saturday, for my 11Cs Live, I worked on clues 6 and 7 of the Tree of Life puzzle mystery quilt from Cotton Cuts. For those of you keeping track, that was the puzzle mystery quilt from last year that I totally fell behind on, and I'm like, I need to get these done. I managed to get both clues done in less than an hour, and the only reason why I can actually take that claim is because everything is pre-cut, and they are the small puzzle mystery quilts. So those can go a lot faster. I did a little bit of pre-organization, so it's probably closer to about 45 minutes from opening everything to being done for a single clue. But they do go very quickly because everything's pre-cut. You don't have to think, as long as you can do the proper translation of the black and white pictures to your color fabric. When I was done with my live, I headed up to one of my local quilt shops to pick up fabric that I had ordered a couple months ago. I had ordered the Camille Roskelley Summertime background fabric. I ordered a bolt of it because I'm like, I have to do this, and I have this and this. Like, I have projects for basically almost all 15 yards of the bolt. And it's easier to buy a bolt than to say, okay, I need 7 yards for here, and 3 yards for here, and 4 yards for here. Might as well buy the bolt. And you get a little discount in most shops if you buy the bolt. There was a little hiccup, apparently, that made it arrive a little bit longer than expected. But I have my fabric, and that's all that really matters. The gals at the shop, though, they were a little evil. They conned me into looking around, and that's, something I didn't need to do, but I did, and I found something. This was hanging out in their room. This is the kit. If you look on the back, these are some gorgeous fabrics, and I will pull out the front and the pattern so that you can see exactly. Wow, that's a Oh, because it was two different colors. And I did see, so this is the colorway that I picked. But they did have the other colorway, which was more, it had a bit more purpley, but it felt a little weird. Oops. So those are the two colorways that they had. If you look at the color charts, you can kind of see how they are close but different. And I was like, I really like these. Here is another look at the fabrics. This is called Whimsical Tumbling Blocks. And it is a Candy Quilts design. And I have no idea if you could just buy the pattern or what. They say this is a traditional thing. And now as I open up the pattern, it is exactly what I feared it would be. There's a whole bunch of templates in here. Which means, yeah, I think I need to finally figure out how to invest in template material, because I seriously doubt I can find these templates online anywhere. They look like they're basic. I could probably cut them with some of the rulers that I already have, so that's the first thing I should probably look at, because I do have some rulers that can do some of the stuff. But definitely, if I can't, I'm going to focus on template material, because these are very easy templates to cut out, unlike some of the other stuff, which I have kindly asked somebody I know to, laser cut me some. And I'm waiting for an invoice on that right now. If you hear me. No. So, yeah, I bought that kit. It's exciting. I'm thrilled with this. And I just need to figure out what cutting I need to do. And then I can put this in my list of stuff that I want to do. It will finish at 73 by 78. So I can fit it on my long arm, and I did not buy backing for it. But I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want for backing, and I think I already have it. So we will see. Hopefully it will all work, but that's for future Russ to deal with. After I left the quilt shop a few dollars poorer, I came home and I realized another exciting thing. I was able to work more on the puzzle mystery quilts. This is something that you can only really do if you're this far behind. So basically, because I have all the patterns, because it's all released and everything, I started looking at the finishing instructions and realized I can work on the center medallion because all of the clues in the center have already been completed. Now, it's not that shocking to realize because, I've completed 7 of the 9 clues that are the blocks. So, the whole concept didn't shock me, but I was like, ooh, yeah, I can do this. So I decided to spend a little bit of time in here, and I got that done. So let me show that to you real quick. This one is the center medallion for the Juicy Juice colorway, whatever it is called. This is, looks like I'm just going to say roughly 24 inches, 24 and a half inches. So this is a center medallion. I think it's coming out wonderfully. And because I was able to do both of them. This is for, I think this one's called Purple Mist. So I think this is going. I don't know if it's coming out as purple as the friend of mine who wants it, but that's what happens if you don't know how the colors are going to be. I guess that's one of my complaints about it is one of your favorite prints may end up having to take a back seat because of the way the design is. So yeah, I think that's why I've started to lean away from the puzzle stuff and lean more into stuff that I can control. But beyond that and everything, I haven't done too much more in here this week because such is life when you're trying to get your sojo back in the middle of, trying to figure out how to sleep and trying to figure out how to get shoes and everything else. So, how was your week? Did anything exciting break on you? I have a bit of excitement coming up, and hopefully it finishes me getting my Sojo back. This Saturday, for my 11Zs, I will be planning on working on clues 8 and 9 of Tree of Life. We've talked about it already, a few things. And 8 and 9 are the last clues of units, which means two things. Number one, I will be able to start putting together the rest of the quilt, which, that's part of the exciting thing. But it also means number two, I need to figure out something different to work on for the next week's 11Zs. I have no fear that I will be able to figure something out, but I just got to start pondering what is next in the series. The other exciting thing happening this week will be on Sunday. If you're on my mailing list, you have already been told that this Sunday will be the next installment of Sewing Shenanigans. For those of you who are new or haven't been to one, Sewing Shenanigans is just a Zoom sew day that anyone can join. Yes, even you. If it's, it could be your first time. You may have been, at every single Sewing Shenanigan that I've hosted, however many that was. Everyone is welcome. We just ask that you keep the conversation positive, and you're welcome to just, sit there and listen to people talking. You're welcome to, talk about your show and tell. Everybody loves show and tell. That is like one of my favorite things to do in there. You'll meet new friends. You can catch up with old friends. Basically a lot of merrily we roll along, but I need to break out that soundtrack again. Anyway, the link to the Sewing Shenanigans Zoom is in the description below. You can come back to this video Sunday morning, or you can come to my 11Z's video on Saturday just to grab the link. You can copy and paste it now. You can save it off. It's the same link every time, so you're welcome to save it off now and use it for future. The folks who are on my mailing list already have a direct link in their inboxes, so they don't have to go hunt through the videos to find it. The virtual doors will open at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and we will go through about 3:30 or so. You don't have to join exactly at 8:30. You can join at 2 for all the excitement is. It's just come and go whenever you can. You don't have to stay the entire time. The end time is a little flexible, but I do have to get Riley out before Stephen and Walter Live comes on. It would definitely be wonderful to have everyone join. So if you can, I'd love to see you there. And if you can't, rearrange your schedule. No. And for those of you who may not be on my mailing list, if you do want a heads up, feel free to shoot me an email. My email is in the description box below as well, and I will add you to it. Knowing earlier means you kind of go from a P to a VIP. Anywho, I think that is going to be about it for today. Sharing my shenanigans with you is definitely the highlight of my week. I mean, what else would I be doing right now? Shoe shopping? Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy what you are seeing. That is the easiest way to get YouTube to suggest my channel to other folks. Of course, you could also do that by sending this video out to your friends or enemies or frenemies. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy, and remember, always measure your life in love.